What is going on, everybody? It's Gia here representing Gia's World, and I'm talking about what took place yesterday in Dallas, Texas during a peaceful protest march rally in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. 5 Dallas police officers were gunned down, sniped out, murdered, slaughtered, killed. Okay? 5 police officers lost their lives. 5 police officers are gone. People have lost their lives. Humans have been gunned down, murdered, and slaughtered. And then another 10 police officers were physically injured in this ordeal yesterday in Dallas, Texas. Now, I personally do not condone violence. Death of any kind is sad. Loss of any life is sad, and it's unfortunate. And then, like these police officers, their families, they lost loved ones, they lost fathers, they lost, partners. People have lost their children. It's sad. Loss of any life is sad. Senseless acts of violence, violence and cruel acts against humanity. It's sad. It's wrong. It shouldn't happen, but it happened, unfortunately. I have a couple of issues with this. Number one, the way the media has reacted to this situation. First of all, they plastered another black man's picture all over the news, saying that he was the alleged suspect. His name is Mark Hughes. He was actually a protester. He was marching and rallying in support of Black Lives Matter in the protests. Yet somehow he ended up being a suspect for the sniping killing of these police officers. Keep in mind, he's actually in the protest marching and rallying. Yes, he did have a gun on him. However, Texas is what? An open carry state. So this right here, shows how racism plays and how hypocrisy plays in the media and laws. An African American man marching in a rally protest in an open carry state, yet he is targeted as being the suspect. The media, nor has the Dallas police force came out to apologize for attacking this man's character and using him on social media and in the media to say he was a suspect, even though he was not a suspect and he was not the person doing it. Okay? It just goes to show you the double standards. Then the double standards, the hypocrisy, and the racism in the law. Texas is an open carry state. So yes, this man was walking in the protest, marching and rallying in the protest with his weapon, with his gun. But he had every right to, because Texas is an open carry state. But I guess if you're a person of color, black or brown, we got a problem. You can't have your gun in an open carry state, supposedly. You're going to be questioned. You're going to be seen as being a suspect for doing so, even though it's your right, Which brings me to my second piece. We always talk about gun control when incidents of gun violence happens. And yet when we bring up gun control, what happens? People go crazy. You're taking away my rights, my Second Amendment rights. Yet clearly this country and this world has an issue with guns and violence. Slaughter, oppression, murder, discrimination, violence, abuse. And a lot of times it's followed by weapons. And that key weapon always tends to be a gun. Yet when we talk about gun control, it's always an issue. You got the NRA folks, you got the right-wingers, you got the conservatives, you got the left. Everybody's involved in this. Don't take away my rights, Second Amendment rights. Yet clearly we have an issue with violence and guns in this country and in this world. Okay? Number 3, the new alleged suspect is Micah Xavier Johnson. He is a 25-year-old Army reservist. He is the alleged suspect. He is also African-American black, right? He's a black brother. He's a black man. And they're, once again, people losing their lives, whether they're police officers, whether they're African-American, black, brown, Asian, Puerto Rican, young, old, rich, poor. Death should not be occurring like this. People should not be being slaughtered. People should not be getting killed. Violence is a problem, okay? Let me just get that out now. Violence is a problem. People should not be getting killed and murdered and slaughtered in the streets, okay? But let me get back to the point, right? So Micah Xavier Johnson. What is the picture that the media is using to portray the alleged suspect now? Once again, they go and they get a picture of Micah Xavier Johnson with the black peace, power to the people, solidarity fist, and he's wearing a dashiki. You already can see the narrative that they're trying to use here. They're trying to use this pro-black, militant, vicious, angry, aggressive, scary image of a African-American man. Yet when Brock Turner, the sexual rapist, a sexual predator from Stanford University, raped an unconscious woman and only received 6 months of jail time. What picture did they use to talk about Brock Turner? They used a picture of like his senior picture. He's just some innocent kid who graduated high school and he can swim. That was the narrative the media was using, even though this man raped an unconscious woman, raped, sexually assaulted, sexually violated, and humiliated a woman, an innocent person, and they used this nice senior picture of him and tried to portray it off as just some innocent kid who graduated high school and went to Stanford University to swim. That was the narrative that we were given. Yet when it comes to Micah Xavier Johnson, the new alleged suspect of the sniping killing of 5 police officers in Dallas, Texas, they go and they find the most negative style picture to advertise what this person may or may not be like. Okay, now why didn't they just go right to showing his Army reservist picture? How come that wasn't the one plastered all over media? Once again, the double standards, the hypocrisy, and the racism. My third point, okay, my third or fourth point, because I lose count. My third or fourth point, what I'm trying to understand is, too, is like, it's almost like the media, yes, the media is insinuating a race war, insinuating more violence. The media plays a major role in how people feel and the type of information they get, what they see, what they hear. It's the media. The media plays a big role in this, okay? Do pay attention to that. They literally pick and choose the narrative that we're going to have. They pick and choose the images we're going to see. They pick and choose what we're going to hear. They play a major role in this. I cannot stress that enough. They play a major role in this, okay? Another thing, the alleged suspect, Micah Xavier Johnson, Army reservist. You know where I'm about to go with this. Point 4 of this video. He was trained by the United States of America in how to kill. At the end of the day, he was an Army reservist. Who trained him? The United States of America. The government, once again, this fascinations with guns and violence and oppression. This is a historical analysis. This is repeat. History repeats itself. He was trained by the United States of America, Army and military. That's how he learned how to shoot. Okay, that's how he got his gun. That's how he got his weapon. Which brings me back to the gun control piece, right? We all know that military personnel, they're able to purchase and own and operate military-styled weapons. And remember, we always talk about how people want to talk about bans on, semi-automatic and automatic assault rifles, yet he's in the Army Reserve, so he had access to those types of weapons and then some because he is a military personnel. So, okay, and once again, PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. These are real things. This stuff is real. When we turn around and we're training folks, when we go, let's face it, when you go into the military, you are, for the most part, trained to kill. You are trained to kill, inflict harm. You are taught how to use different machines, different weapons. You're taught different maneuvers. For the most part, the object of the military, when they're going to war and to fight, they're killing folks. And that's what people are doing. When they go to basic training, they're being trained how to kill. Let's just be real. They are killing machines. And once again, the United States of America's government is who trained Micah Xavier Johnson. Okay? Another thing I want to get there. Loss of any life is sad and it shouldn't be happening. However, when you sign up to be a police officer and you sign up, to go to the military, You know the pros and cons. You know the risk here. There's a big possibility you may lose your life or be harmed on the job. That's what comes with being a police officer or being in the military. Okay? Where when people get pulled over for, tail lights going out, or, they're being questioned by the police, we didn't sign up to be abused, harassed, shot, killed, murdered, slaughtered. We didn't sign up for that. That's the difference. Where when you're in the military, you're in the police, there is a huge risk factor that you may be harmed or die on the job. Also, when we look at the number of killings by police to other people, it outweighs the amount of people that are actually killing police officers. I'm just going to be honest. Not to mention that police officers in the USA are more likely to be harmed and killed by their own police officers in what they call friendly fire. Don't believe me? Look it up. There's a thing called Google. You should utilize it. Trust me, it's on there. You can look it up for yourself. Okay? But that doesn't negate the fact that 5 police officers were murdered, slaughtered, gunned down. It doesn't negate the fact that people lost their loved ones. It doesn't negate the fact that 10 additional police officers were physically harmed. It doesn't negate that. Their lives are gone. Their lives have been injured. People are suffering. There's a problem in this country and in this world with guns and violence, hate and bigotry and oppression and discrimination. There is a major societal issue, and it's not a new phenomenon. It has been going on for centuries. There's some people who are saying that Micah Xavier Johnson is a hero. Some are saying that he, is a terrorist. There's very varying views of how you view Micah Xavier Johnson, police brutality, what took place that led up to this possible issue. When we look at Philando, Castile, Alton, Sterling, and countless others who have been murdered, slaughtered by police officers, by authority figures, by this country, by this society, by these social constructions. I can go on and on and on, But there's a clear issue here. Violence and police brutality are hand in hand. Gun violence, toxic masculinity, patriarchy, racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, transphobia. There are so many social constructions that created this toxic mess that we're in right now. Okay? Many factors go into this. Many people, including myself, we all play roles in what's going on in society. So when we go around talking about, oh my God, I can't believe this happened and what's going on, you know what? We got to look in the mirror and look at ourselves and start questioning our own selves and our own behaviors and our own actions. Because when we talk about society, please keep in mind, we are society. We are the people that make up the society, that make up the community, that make up the government, that make up the populations in these various cities, states, and countries and continents. We are society. Okay, there's something wrong with us. I saw a really good meme on Twitter, and I liked it, and I'm probably going to share it on my social media. But how Donald Trump is talking about building a wall and making Mexicans in Mexico pay for it. And somebody said, no. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. Somebody said, no. What the United States of America needs to do is build a gigantic mirror and make everybody look into the mirror. Okay, because clearly there's an issue here. This is a direct reflection of the policies and the social constructs that create us, that we've created. Because, social constructs are created by who? People. So this whole idea of race, skin color, ethnicity, sex, gender, sexuality, patriarchy, violence, guns, all of this is created by humans. Humans have done this. We have done this. We are a part of the problem. But, I'm going to keep on saying this. This also does not negate Black Lives Matter. It doesn't negate the police brutality that's been going on for centuries. It doesn't negate the racism and the oppression and the violence and the discrimination that has been going on for centuries. This is an ongoing issue. This is an emergency. This is a disaster. This is a crisis. Something has got to give. One more point that, because this is going on 15 minutes, one more point that I have to say is this. I do not condone violence. However, self-defense is a must. Because we're living in a world where I can't necessarily call the police and think they're going to protect and serve me. They might think I'm the criminal. They might think I'm the aggressor, and I might get shot and killed. Or I might be questioned or put in a jail cell and then pop up dead. Sandra Bland, okay? So at the end of the day, I don't condone violence, but at the same time, I think everyone deserves the right to defend themselves and their loved ones, okay? So I'm going to end this video. I want to send my condolences, positive thoughts, support, and love to people who have lost their lives, to their families, to their friends and loved ones, because loss of any life is sad, especially when it can be prevented and it didn't have to happen. But the United States of America, you need to look at yourself. We, as people, we need to look at ourselves. We need to examine ourselves. We need to reflect. We need to think critically about what has been going on, because this is not a new phenomenon.